Us to our first question tonight. Is it time to rein in? Omar, what do you think the people's expectations are? Not the state governments, but the people's expectations in Jammu and Kashmir from this visit next week by the Prime Minister?
Well, obviously, I think the people will expect some sort of indication as to the intention of the government of India to kickstart the stalled dialogue process between the centre and the state, and not the state government, but I mean the various political voices, both mainstream and otherwise. Obviously, some sort of indication from the Prime Minister as to the thinking of the government of India about some of the issues that have come up within the state, development and political. And let's see. This is what I think the people expect, and I think the state government's expectations are pretty much on the same lines.
But in a sense, hasn't that already been very shaky? The Hurriyat has already said it's not going to talk to the centre. There was this quiet dialogue that the Home Minister attempted with sections of the separatist camp earlier this year, which completely flopped. So there seems to be a perception that things really haven't been handled very well by Delhi until now.
I don't think it was Delhi's fault that the quiet dialogue didn't remain quiet. I think there was a concerted effort made in certain quarters to out the dialogue process, and that's what it fell victim to. That having been said, I think attempts at reaching out to certain sections of the Hurriyat conference using the back channels have continued, and if sooner rather than later, we hope that those back-channel efforts will realize the results that we all hope they will.
Omar, the periodic killings, it seems, of innocent people by security forces is always a setback to any peace initiative in the state. The latest encounter, again, making headlines, generating anger. Now, are there doubts about other recent encounters as well that have taken place along the line of control, as some reports suggest?
Well, obviously there would be doubts. This is the problem, where a handful of people for short-term gains are willing to sacrifice the long-term interests not only of the force that they represent, but of everybody else. Obviously, there will be serious repercussions, and doubts will emerge. J&K police has been flooded with complaints and inquiries about encounters now going back more than 5 years, 6 years, in some cases 8 years. And we've dug up bodies, we've verified whether those encounters have been genuine or not. And really this has put a lot of additional work on an already overburdened police force, because a whole host of questions are being asked about encounters that have taken place as to whether they are genuine or not.
And so you're actually reinvestigating all the complaints that you're getting?
Every complaint that has been made to the J&K police after this Machil encounter, the police has looked into it and has satisfied the complainant that whatever deaths so far have taken place, other than the Machil one, have been the result of genuine encounters.
But there is a question mark still over some other encounters. That's what you're saying. Those still have to be verified.
I'm saying that almost every encounter, unfortunately, that has taken place now has question marks being posed by people. And it is our duty to address those questions.
Omar, please do stay with us. I'd like to get General Malik in here. Sir, the army has been in Kashmir now for, what, 20 years. Why does this still happen?
Look, firstly, I'm personally against deploying the army in civil areas for such a long time. It's neither good for the army nor for the country as a whole. But of course, in this situation, we were forced. Yeah. That is why I keep opposing the deployment of army, even for the Maoist insurgency. But coming to, let me tell you that the track record of the army on human rights, of Indian army, is today, I can say it very confidently, is amongst the best in the whole world. But having said that, I am not denying that there has been some aberrations and nobody can condone human rights violation. Particularly of the incident that you have mentioned now, I think it's a terribly disgusting incident if it has taken place. And if it can be proved, I would be the first one to recommend the harshest punishment given to those people who have this thing. But as the Chief Minister himself said, that these are the kind of things which encourage people to start asking all kinds of questions. Please don't forget that in J&K, a very large number of civilians, including not so well-off civilians, they work alongside the army as porters, as pony drivers, and hosts of other jobs. So this second incident that has now come out just a few days ago, 2-3 days ago, I'm quite surprised. I mean, how is it that suddenly these kind of incidents have started happening? Of course, as the Chief Minister has rightly suggested, I think we need to investigate these issues.
Tuba.com